let's talk about loading the forehand, getting our entire body to work together in good harmony, getting that really fast whip-like motion, getting that arm fired through as fast as humanly possible. Sometimes if you do it right, follow these steps, you'll be able to really throw the disc 7 times the speed of light. I've seen this happen. I've seen a man throw it one time, created a black hole, sucked everything into it, and everything in the world changed as he knew it. And you guys will do the same thing as well. Really throw the disc into an entirely new dimension. It's going to be groundbreaking. Scientists from all over the world are going to wonder how in the world we did that. Probably be able to travel back in time. No, but all seriousness, I don't know what the crap that was. All of these things help contribute to a very fast, effortless looking forehand. So that's what we're going to talk about. I will end the video with a little drill that I think will be very beneficial to a lot of people and help them get some of the right mechanics down and certainly getting the right habits of having a successful forehand. And if I were you, I wouldn't subscribe. I just wouldn't do it. It's too complicated. It's too complicated. I had a guy comment, and he was basically talking about he wasn't sure whether to stack this finger on top of this finger, and he was trying to figure out what works. I'm gonna touch base real quickly on the grip, and then I'm gonna be done with the grip. But Gannon Buhr recently released a video on his forehand, and I'm not gonna lie, I was actually pretty surprised about his grip. I've heard a lot of pros talk about their grips, and I'm not saying there's other ones out there that hold the disc the way he does, but it surprised me. He talked about he uses a stack grip, but his fingernails are facing down, so his fingerprints are actually on the flight plate. I don't really teach that. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. You can't argue with Gannon Buhr. He's one of the best forehand. I mean, he's got a phenomenal forehand. He's like the best player in the world right now. So can't argue with the dude. Whatever he does works for him. So what I guess I can say is that everybody's different. For me, I get way better power when I push through the rim. To me, it just makes more sense that way because I'm propelling the disc, I'm pushing the disc instead of pushing the disc with the side of my finger. But, you know, to each his own. I'm not going to say what he does is wrong. And I don't know that he can say that what I do is wrong because I feel like I have a pretty good forehand. So I would say you need to find what grip is comfortable and whatever works for you, whatever works for you. If you want to try the Gannon Buhr grip, I'm going to call it the Gannon Buhr grip for the sake of this video, but if you try it, and I could actually see where doing this would actually have a lot of control, and so I don't think I would personally get a lot of power this way, but I could see a lot of control being had. I will try to throw in that way just to see what happens. I'm just interested in what'll happen. Putting my fingers just like this on the flight plate, and the side of my finger is pushing through the rim. Going to be very interesting to see what happens here. Okay, that was low. It feels different. It just feels awkward to me, but that doesn't mean it's bad. So, yeah, I mean, I'm throwing them low. Not meaning to do that. But, I mean, it works. I mean, it works. So, with all that being said, I'm gonna move on from the grip. If you do something with the grip and it works for you, stick with it. There's like 3 main points I can think of for the grip. I'm moving on from the grip. We're done talking about the grip, but I just wanna say this. So, you gotta be able to hold on to the disc, however fast your arm's going through. For me, it's 70 plus miles an hour. I don't know what yours may be 40. Doesn't matter, you've gotta be able to hold on to the disc. The second point is you gotta be able to control it. You gotta be able to control the nose angle, all the other different angles that you wanna put it on. So you gotta be able to hold it, control it. Secondly, or last but not least, you want it to come out clean and with no wobble. Very little wobble. You want it to come out very, very clean. So really, if you can do that, it doesn't, to me, really matter how you hold the daggum thing. Just hold it and just practice. Go out to the field and practice. That's the only way you're gonna get better. We're moving on from the grip. First things first is our reach back. This is point number 1. We're gonna reach back. Gannon says he likes to keep it flat, which makes it total sense to me. It's just like with me reaching back with my backhand, I wanna keep it on the same plane the whole time. That helps a lot. So I can see how he reaches back, keeps it straight, and then pulls it straight through. For me, that doesn't work. I like to pull it up and then come down. For me, it just feels natural that way. That's how I've always done it. That's how Paul Macbeth does it. Jeremy Coiling kind of goes in between. He doesn't really go flat, and he doesn't really go up behind his head. He just kind of keeps it here. I would just say the reach back is going to be whatever feels comfortable. I would try different ones to just see what works out for you. At the same time that we're reaching back, we're also working on our footwork. At the same time we are reaching back, we're actually right about the peak of the reach back, you're going to be planted. So we're going to talk about our footwork. To me, I wouldn't say the footwork doesn't matter. That's kind of the beauty of the forehand. There's so many different ways to get your hips positioned correctly. The backhand, there's only really one, and it's mainly you've got to do some type of an X step to get your hips pointed away from the target and really get those hips engaged so you can pull through. Forehand, it's a little different. Forehand, you got so many different options here. Nate Sexton, he does more of like this little hop. It's like a crow hop type of thing where he kind of comes up, he hops, and then he plants, and then he engages. So, and what he's doing is really it's kind of like a pitcher in a sense, pulling up, ready to plant and just fire through with the hips. So there's also an X step. You can go back like this and step and fire. I don't like the X step because to me, if I feel like it's turning my hips a little bit too much. So I will agree with Gannon on that. Let's see. There's what I do. I do two different, it depends on if I want more power. If I want more power, I will actually take a step, and the same time this front foot's coming off the ground, my back foot's coming on the ground. So it's kind of like this little, I'll step, 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 and then go through. So it's kind of this step, step, little hop. Same time this foot's coming down, this one's coming up, and then I'm planting and firing through. And so that's if I'm trying to get a lot of power. But if I'm not trying to get a lot of power, honestly, I'll just walk. I'll do a normal walk. I'll just step like this. I'm kind of positioning my hips kind of away from the target. But then as I fire through, I'm picking my leg up and I'm just stepping and pulling through. And so footwork to me is not near as important as the end result. As long as you can get your hips kind of engaged and ready to fire through, really that's all that matters to me. So we've talked about the reach back, we talked about the footwork. Let's talk about the off arm. So really the same time this arm's coming forward, as you're driving, this arm, this off arm, should be pulling backwards. And I don't think about my off arm at all. It just naturally happens. I wouldn't say you probably need to be thinking a whole lot about the off arm, but it's definitely a contributing factor to helping get really the all you can with your hips. This back hip should be driving forward, and the shoulder should be coming backwards, and the arm should be lagging to really just push the disc out there. And you don't really think of all that. Like if I told you to go throw a baseball, you're not gonna think about, okay, right foot, left foot, plant, get the hips turned, fire back. You're not gonna be thinking about all the mechanics, you're just gonna throw the dang ball. And so it's really hard to think about all those things, but it's just a good, if your arm's just hanging out up here and you're just like, and you're not pulling back, then that could be hurting you from getting max distance. I would say, I think Anthony Barella uses like this little, and Paul Macbeth also, a lot of pros do this. They'll actually put their hand out in front of them, and as they're coming through, they will swipe. It's almost like this, like there's a bug, I'm getting it out of the way, I'm firing through. And so there's that. Yeah, so really all of these things, our footwork, our hips, our reach back, and our off arm, our core, this is kind of loading the core, so to speak. We're firing back, we're just coiling, and then we're exploding through. And all of those things contribute to getting that hand through as fast as possible. And so they're all equally important. footwork. You got to get the footwork there, get the hips in the right position, fire those hips, pull your arm back, get that elbow, keep that elbow pretty tight to the body. I don't care what anybody says, the elbow has to go first. Don't hurt yourself trying to throw your elbow, but you're not gonna get any distance if your elbow is behind your arm. Just doesn't make any sense. That's how we create lag and whip, is getting that elbow through first, then the wrist, and then the hand. So this leads me into the drill. What I wanna do is get our arm basically like this. I want you to cock your wrist, get your wrist all the way back as far as it'll go, hold with whatever grip you feel comfortable. Elbow, try to just reach back. You're gonna feel tension right here in the back of your shoulder, which is totally okay. And we're gonna start just like we would. If you work on all these mechanics we just talked about, this should be the position you're wanting to get into, and then from there it's just firing through. So we're gonna work on just starting here and then firing through. So we'll start right here. All I'm gonna do, if you want to, you could actually stand up on one foot. Let me see if I can tilt my camera down. So we're gonna pretend like basically we've just done our step. We're here. I'm gonna start just like this with my hand reached back. We're gonna go just like that. Now that was a little nose up, but essentially that's what we're gonna do. And you can start with your left foot a little off the ground if you're right-handed, and you're just working this disc back and then firing through. And hopefully those little tips right there will help you certainly understand some of the mechanics of getting from here to the end point and working the whole body to get there. So the best thing that I can really say is get out into a field and just practice. That's where you're gonna see the most beneficial gains. Yes, you can watch videos to learn about different aspects of the forehand and different things that you're doing. Filming yourself is another great thing. It helps you see where you're getting wrong at. But yeah, everybody's body is different, and everybody's body is gonna react a little bit different way. We all want the same result. We want a clean, powerful forehand with no wobble, very accurate. Really the question is, what do you have to do for your body type and how your body works to get there? And the only thing I can say is I can tell you what I've learned, tell you from what I've seen in other videos and what pros talk about and what I've just learned over 13 years of throwing a frisbee. But that's really all I have to offer you guys on today's video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Like I said, don't want to subscribe, don't want to do it. But until I catch you in the next one, go in peace and be blessed.